Hey guys, welcome to this part of the e-commerce website series. So today we're going to continue on the to-do list and we're going to work a little bit on the vendors page. We're also going to make sure that only authenticated users can proceed to the checkout, and we're going to start working on the gateway. So as you can see here, I have split this into a few subtasks, so it's a little bit easier to follow on. So first we can begin with vendors must be able to see their orders. So if I now go to my store, then I want to show the orders that some of these products has been a part of. So we can begin by going here, and then we can find this page, user profile, my store. So above where we list out the products, just add some HR for separation. Then here we can copy this title and say my orders. So if I go back and refresh, we have the title here now, and I have that title. Nice. We can okay, this can just be my orders, my store, and then down here I want to loop through them, so they should be showing below there. I can remove this because that was just looking weird. Okay, like that. So then to get these orders, we can go to the views.py because we need to get them here. So here we can say orders equals order.objects. Actually, I don't think I can say it like that. Let me open up store and look at the models file. Because this is not connected directly to you, I have to find it from the product owner here. Okay. And this is connected with the user. Okay, just have to figure out exactly how to do this. Close some of these files like that. So then I first can import the order item and the order if I need it, and then I'm going to check down in the my store, sorry, much up and down, order item dot objects dot filter where product user equals request.user. This should at least give me all of the order items. So we can get them first just to see what this looks like. For order item in order items. Oops. Order item. And then end 4 and save. So if I refresh now, you can see here that I get an order item. Nice. So that means that I now have all the orders items that have been purchased from me, but we need to view them a little bit better than this. So we should have some sort of a table or similar. I can add a columns list. Also a flex row div class flex rep, and then div class w half or 1/3 strong title. Copy this quantity and price. And then I can just make a copy of this, paste it in here, and then make a copy of this as well. Except here I don't want to use the strong element. Here I just want to show the title of the product. So order item.product.title. And then we do the same with the quantity. This is not connected to the product, so here I just say order item.quantity. And then the price. And this should have this field. So order item.price. Can add a dollar sign as well and save. So refresh. Then you can see here that my orders has this product, one item, and the price 1900, which is not the correct. You can see down here that the price is $19. So I need to create a new get price function, which I can just copy from the product and paste it. And then I use this function, the get display price, which just divides it with 100. Save, refresh, and now you see it there. I should also then I just want to show the order ID here, so I can click on it to view the detail page of an order. So I need to add one more, so I can call this 1/4. Order ID. Oops. And then div class w1/4 order item.id. And then this should be able to be clicked, so I can go in and see the detail page, so I can see who I'm going to send this product to and similar. So to do that, we need to create one more view first. At login required def order detail my store order detail, just so I know that it's that and not some of your own orders. And then we need to pass in the primary key here, which should be the order ID. That reminds me, I actually did something wrong. This should not be the order item ID, but the order ID, which is the one we are referring to there. Okay, so then we can get the order by saying order equals get object or 404. Now we pass in the order model and say primary key equals primary key. So the primary key on this model should match the one we get from the URL. And then return render request user profile / my store order detail.html, and here we need to pass in this order and save. So then we can go to the next step, which is to import this and add it down here. Can add it here, path my store / order detail. Here we expect an integer called primary key views.myStoreOrderDetail, and the name is also myStoreOrderDetail, like that. So now that that is done, we can go back to this template and make sure that we can click this by adding the anchor tag link URL my store and then order _ item.order.id. Close, and make sure that you close the anchor tag after the ID. So if I refresh now, you see order ID, which is 1, and when I click it, I'll be sent to this page. Template does not exist, so we can begin by creating that. So in the same folder, just create a my order detail.html, and then I can make a copy of a little bit of this content. Paste it. Order detail, and then we show the order.id there, and the same with the title on the page, and the block, and save. So now this should be gone, and then you can see here that we are looking at the order for order number 1. So then down here I want to list out all of the items that is yours, because I don't want to know about the products for other people. Okay, so to do that we can go back here, and then we can say h2 class text xl my products in this order for item in order.items .all. I have to say that. Now we can say if item dot product.user equals request.user, then I can check that if this user is the same who owns this product, then we show it in this list. Just want to close these two, and 4 and 4. Nice. So then here we can show the same type of table as we have here. So let's copy this top here and paste it above, and then we copy these, which should be inside this here. Just fix the indentation, but this does not need the ID. That is not needed here. And also this is just item dot product dot title, item quantity, and item get display price. And then I can remove these lines there and just fix the class names here and save. So if I refresh now, there is something wrong. Invalid block tag. Okay, this was supposed to be and if, because I want to close this template tag. Refresh, and now it's here. Nice. So we need some spacing there. I want space below the title here, MB6, and this should MB3, should be enough. So that looks much better already. So now I know that this order needs to send these products. Okay, so I guess that's it for now. I don't want to do more here, but I will come back to this later, because we need to know or make it possible to tell the owner of Petnet that I sent this product to the customer or similar. It depends a little bit on how you want to solve it. If you want to have the products for all of the vendors with you and similar. But anyways, I can set this task to done. So I just want to remove this task because this doesn't make any sense to have there right now. So save it like that. So then the next step is to make sure that only authenticated users can proceed to the checkout. So let me just log out, and then if I go here, add this to the cart, increase, and then checkout. Okay, I have actually already fixed this. Maybe I fixed it in the previous part. So just let me log in. So now, yes, this is working. Okay, great. So then I can set this task as well to done. So then we can begin on implementing the payment gateway. Okay, so the first task is to get API keys from Stripe. So I need to log in there to get these API keys. So stripe.com. If you don't have an account there, you need to sign up now. Sign in. Okay, so as you can see up here, I have switched on that I'm a developer, and you can see here that this is just test data. Unfortunately, I don't have this much amount in my other Stripe, but that's a different case. Anyways, so now I want to get the API keys. So to do that, I can just click developers at the right hand here, and then go to API keys. Then I need a publishable key. This is going to be used in the HTML. So click to copy, done that. And then we open up settings.py. And then I can say stripe pub key equals, paste it in there. And I also want the secret key. So stripe secret key. And then I need to click reveal and copy this and paste it in there and save. So now I have these two, and I can proceed to the next task done, which is to install Stripe and add credentials to settings.py. I've just added the credentials there, but I need to install Stripe. To do that, I just go to the command line, stop the web server, and say pip install Stripe. So now this will download install Stripe and a few dependencies that Stripe has, and then I can just run the server again. Okay, so now this is done as well, and then I can set this to done. Next step then is to pass the pub key, which we had just had there, into the checkout view. So just close these and into views.py. And then to be able to get these keys from the settings file, we need to import one more thing here from Django.conf import settings. And then I need to find the checkout view. Okay, that's not in this views.file, sorry. Just copy this, save, and then open up the store/views.py, of course. But then I can paste this here, not the correct one, from Django.conf import settings. And here I should have the checkout page, yes. So if I just scroll down to the context here, I can just say pub key settings.stripe pub key. And now this should be available to be used in the template, which is the checkout.html here. Okay, so now that that is done, I don't think yes, I can set this task to done. Oops. And then I can create the Stripe checkout when I create an order. So in the order/views.py file, we have the checkout functionality somewhere. Yes, here we create this. So we can set the order.paid to true. I think this is the correct one. Let me open up order/models.py. Oops, store/models.py, of course. And this is called isPaid. I also want to change the merchant ID, which is not the correct one. This should be payment intent, which is something you also get from Stripe. So then, since we made a change now to this model, we need to update the database. Python mentioned.py make migrations. Yes, I renamed it, and then Python mentioned.py migrate. So now we can run the server again and go back here. So in the checkout.html, so into views.py again. Then I can begin by importing two libraries we are going to need. Import JSON and import Stripe. And we're also going to import one more thing down here from Django.http import JSON response. This is something we're going to send to Stripe. And then everything here is already imported for what we need. So if I then scroll down to the checkout, then after here where I checked if the form is okay, then we can proceed. So up here I also want to create one more list, items, just empty list. And then when we loop through these items, I want to create a little dictionary and append this to the items. So items.append and then a dictionary. Here I want to pass in the price data for each of the items. So create a new dictionary called price data inside there. Currency, I'm going to use USD for United States dollars. And the product data, name, product.name. So then we just refer to this, product.title, but this should still be name. And then we also need to pass in unit amount, product.price. So this is the individual price for each of the product. Since I already did this in cents, I don't have to do anything, but if you change your to float and similar and use dollars or 1.99 and similar, you need to multiply your price with 100. And then together with the price data, we want to know the quantity. So quantity is item quantity, like that. So now this is appended to this list for each of the products. And then before we create the order here, we want to say hello to Stripe. Stripe.api key equals settings.stripe secret key. I think that's what I called it. Stripe secret key, yes. So then that's added to the Stripe functionality or library. And then we want to create a session. And if this is not working, you will get an error and redirect it back to the checkout, the checkout page and similar. So session equals stripe.checkout.session.create. And then we need to set the payment method types. I only want to support card. Not quite sure what other you can provide here, but this is what I always do. Line items, which is referring to the list up here. And we need to provide mode equals payment. I think this could be a subscription and similar. And then success URL http://127.001:8002. That's the URL I'm using here. /cart/success. I will create this soon. And cancel URL equals, just copy this. And then you know that if you go to the payment page and click cancel, you will just be redirected back to the cart page. And then when this is done, we get the payment intent from Stripe. Payment intent equals session.payment_intent. And then this can be stored into the order. Order.payment_intent equals payment intent. And then the order is created and everything should be okay now. So we can actually try this now by just saving this. Check for errors, no errors. So then I can go to the checkout page here. Just fill in some random information. Click checkout. Okay, and I was actually redirected to my account. I posted to the checkout page and I was redirected to my account. That is not what was supposed to happen here. This should actually return a JSON response with the session information. Session and order payment intent. Okay, so let me just try again, see what happens. Go back here, add the product, checkout. Okay, so now I get this here, so just let me inspect this here a little bit. So now I get this information from Stripe and similar. I think I'm missing something somewhere. Yes, of course, this was not I need to do some changes in the checkout file again, of course, sorry. So here I need to add some JavaScript. And to do that, I first need to make it possible to pass in JavaScript into the base.html file. So here I just want to add a new block scripts and block. Then I can copy this and go back to checkout.html, paste it here. And then I need to include the Stripe JavaScript API. So script type application / JavaScript, and source for this is https://js.stripe.com/v3, and then we close that. And then we want to create one more script tag. So now we want to use JavaScript to handle this form. So instead of using this default form here, we just remove this, and set this there, remove this, and fix the indentation to there. And then when we click this button, we want to call a JavaScript function. So on click by, like that. Pass in event here so we can fix the default functionality for this button. So function by event. Now you can say event.prevent default and return false. So nothing should now happen when we click that button. Yes, nothing happens. Okay. Just want to open up the inspector so I can look for errors here. Just says that I don't have the favicon. I don't care about that right now. But then we need to create a new dictionary with data to pass into Stripe. So let data equals, and then I want to get these fields. So first name, document.get object get element by ID, and then I need to inspect this to see the ID, which should be ID first name. Okay, ID first name dot value. Make a copy of this, rename this to last name, ID last name, then address, zip code, and city as well. Address, ID address, zip code, ID zip code, city, ID city. Okay, so then I have this, and then we can initialize the Stripe API. Let Stripe equals Stripe, so then we refer to the script we include here, and then we just pass in the pub key, which I passed into the view down there. So then we have initialized Stripe, and then we can use fetch to submit this information to the backend. So then we say fetch cart/checkout, which should be the URL for this page here, which we are on now also as well. And then here we want to set the method to be post, and we need to specify some headers where you can pass in the CSRF token and similar headers. Content type, we need to set that this should be application/JSON, and we need to set x-CSRF token to CSRF token. So then we get this from Django. And then we need to set credentials to just be same origin. Oops, forgot to add the tuples. And we also need to set body. Actually, these fields here shouldn't have tuples when I think about it. that, but this one in here will have that. I'm not sure if that's needed, but I think so because of these dashes. But then we can set the body to json.stringify, and then we just pass in this data information. So that is now how we're going to send the information to the backend. And when this is done, we get some information from the server.then, and then we create a function here where we pass in the response we get from the server. Then we can just return response.json, and when that is done, we say .then function session. So that means that, that means that now we are getting the things we are sending here. And then we can just return stripe.redirect to checkout. Then we pass in session ID, session.session.id, and this is the payment ID we got up here, which means that the payment is okay to be done. Like that. Right, so when this is done, then we say .then function result, and then we know that everything is okay, but we can check that if result.error, then we know that there is an error. We can just alert result.error.message, just so we can know what error there was. And if there is anything else wrong, we create a function error alert error, just so we can see what is wrong, and save. So what happens now is that when we click this button, we use the information from the form to create this, pass it into the Stripe here, and use fetch, which is built into all browsers. It's the same as Axios. And then we just pass this information to the backend. And since we did this change here to use this instead of the regular form, we need to get the data up here in a little bit different way. So then below here we check that this is a post method. It's still a post method as far as I know. Then we can say data equals json.loads request.body, because this information is now in the body, as you can see here, body. Then we pass in the data there. And then instead of using the information down here, order, yes, we can't do this anymore. So we can say order.firstName equals data first name, copy last name, address, and zip code, and city, and save. So now I think everything should be back to where it was. So we need to do some check and test it. Okay, so there are no error messages. Stein, healthset, address, zip code, and the city, blah blah blah. Check out. I got invalid JSON. Okay. There's nothing wrong there. Doc type is not valid JSON. Okay. Let me see if this network tab says anything else. Payload, preview, response. Okay, so I get this template back with information about these fields are required. That's because it's checking up here if the form is valid. So I don't think we can do that anymore now, since we are not using the request post data. So if we just copy all of this and fix the indentation, and I can try this again. Just go here, refresh, fill in some information. Okay, still get some error. The line items parameter is required in payment mode. Okay, I thought I added this. Price data. Okay, it looks like I actually removed this, so that was a mistake. So up here with the price data, I said currency, product data with the name, the unit amount, everything here should be okay. So down here I have the line items. So it's there, but why isn't it working? The line items is required. Print items. I just want to see that if there are there. So the items is empty. Okay, yes, the total cost is also 0, which means that the cart has been cleared. So let me just add this again. Go to the checkout, and now we can try again. Checkout. And now I can see here that there was information at least, but now the order could not be created because the data didn't validate. Okay, that's not good. First name data. Okay, maybe this data isn't there. Print data. Okay, let me try again. Checkout. Data ASDF, so it's there. The order cannot be created. Okay, maybe this is supposed to be an integer. No, still the same problem. Okay, maybe I'm missing a field. First name, last name. Okay, all of these are stat, integer field, char field. Created by and created at. Just want to see if I get this also. It shouldn't really matter. But we also know that since we go down here, we actually know that this will be created. But I don't need to create it like this. I can actually just say order equals order.objects.create first name equals. Now we can pass in the data like this. So we don't have to use the form right now. And then the last name. Then the address. Data address. And the zip code. Then the city, data, city, and then we can just copy this. We can copy the is paid. This should, yes, here should be commas, yes, it's important. The payment intent and the paid amount. Then we don't have to call the save. So then can create or try again. Just save this file, refresh, try to fill in this form, checkout. Still something wrong. Type object order has no attribute object. Sorry, objects was supposed to be that. Try one more time. And now I was actually redirected to the checkout page from Stripe. So let me try. If you want to go and try to use the testing card, you can say 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. And then the month of the year has to be next year or later this year. So you can say 0, 2, 23 and 1, 2, 3. And then just betal or pay, which should be betal is my language. And then I was redirected back to cart/success, which is not created yet, so we need to create that. But that means that everything here is actually working now. Okay, so then down here we can say def success request return render store/success.html and save. Now we can import this to the URLs, store/URLs cart, path cart/success views.success name success and save. So then we have the template, so go back to checkout just to make a copy of this, create a new file, and then we can save it as success.html success and block. Nice. So then I can save this, we can see it, refresh, missing one argument, not good, what did I forget? Return render request, of course. Nice, so now that is working as well. I can just add a paragraph here, thank you for shopping with us. You can add whatever you want here, of course. But now this is done and this is now gone and the cart is cleared. But I do not want to make it possible to go directly to checkout. So if you go to this page and there is no products in the cart, I just want to redirect us back to the cart. So to do that we need to go to the checkout view. Then I think I can say, check print cart.len. Maybe. Let me try this. Refresh. Okay, that is not correct. Cart.items. Just want to see what this is. This is just empty. Maybe if I add the product, then go to checkout again, has no attribute items. Okay. So then we need to check if there are any products there. And to do that, I want to get the length. So to do that, cart.py, I thought I was able to get this. Cart.get total cost. Maybe I can use this to check it. We just find the checkout page. Refresh. Now it says 100 there. And if I just remove this and then go back to checkout, then it says 0. So I now think I can say if cart.get total cost is greater than 0, then we can proceed. Actually, we can say here return redirect to cart. And then refresh. Refers for cart not found. Sorry, cart view. Refresh, and then I'm redirected back to cart. So if I go here now to checkout, then I'm automatically sent back here. If I add a product and then try to check out, then I'm sent to the checkout. Nice. So then I can set this to done, and I can set this task to done, and this whole task here to done. And that means now that all of the tasks is finished and the last task remains, which is to deploy the project. So I want to deploy this project to live server. I just want to go over a little bit of this code to see if there is anything I can change. For example, I don't want to hard code this address here. So if I now open up settings.py, then here I can say website URL equals, paste that in there with the slash, and then in here, in the views.py, I can say settings.website URL plus, and then I just append this like that. Or if I want to format this, I can say settings.website URL, and this URL will then be automatically like this. Copy this, paste it here, and just remove the success like that. So now this is not longer hard-coded, and the information is stored in settings.py instead. Okay, there are probably a lot of other things that could be fixed here on this project as well, but I'm not going to go through anything more right now, at least. So in the next part of the series, I'm going to deploy this project to a live server. I'm going to use DigitalOcean. You can try this for free if you want. I'm going to add a link in the description below so you can sign up and get the free server. So see you in the next video.